Warmly welcome to this Sounds of Science instructional movie. We'll show you some different panel types and also in how to mount them. I am Pontus and
I'm Peter.
Behind us you see some panels. This is actually behind Peter here. This is the corner solution. Here you have an assortment of the 40 x 120 panels with 20 centimeters of space. In the corner there you'll see a lovely guitar motif that is mounted upon our legs. But first a little bit about what makes these panels so great. When we construct the panels, we don't need to use any wood, plywood, glue, nothing but the actual effective material itself. So more or less, apart from a few screws, more or less every gram of the panel is effective material. And the effective material is based on this thick felt. So when we make the membranes, and these are the membranes. Now, the great thing with the membranes is that we have pressed 3 layers of this felt into one of these membranes. So you have a lot of material that absorbs, and the trick is of course to press the felt in such a way that it's not too densely pressed, so the fibers in the material doesn't move. You can see more in our sound absorption animation how that works. But densely enough to make the panel hard and rigid. So there's a fine line in there, and we've spent a lot of time finding that fine line. So what the panel does, or the membrane does, is that it absorbs, but it also flexes. Much like a gypsum board or a glass wall. And this is very, very good when it comes to the low frequencies. The absorption in itself is tremendous since it's so much material in it on medium to high frequencies. So what we do is that we take 2 or more, depending on the product type, of these panels and put them together. And of course we need to put them loosely together, so we use these spacers and we have them in the edges. So then we put panels on top of each other, creating a sandwich construction. And in the middle, between each panel or each membrane, there's a layer of this felt. So actually our thinnest product, which is very, very good when it comes to human speech, for instance, it's called speech. That consists of 2 membranes with 1 piece of this felt in between. And since every membrane is made out of 3 layers of this, the total sum in our thinnest product of felt layers is actually 7. So imagine having 7 really heavy, thick drapes after each other, and you'll see why they are so effective. And this membrane here, this is the back membrane, and you have this on every panel. This is the back membrane, and here you have the mounting holes. So basically you can use 2 screws or hooks to hang it like this, or you can use 2 screw and hooks to hang it like this. A corner solution is extremely good because it becomes very effective. Now, sound absorption depends quite a lot on how far from the wall you are. And the further away from the wall you are, basically, the better the sound absorption effect is. Now, the flexing thing I told you about earlier, that still remains. But you want to have the panels a bit from the wall. So a corner solution is great because when you place them in the corner, they really come far from the wall. Now, these are normal panels, you see. They have the mounting system in the back. So if you get tired of having them in the corner, you can always hang them in the wall instead. That's good. One cool thing with the panels is that this material is extremely good when it comes to fastening screws. So what we've done here is just we've put some screws into it. If you want to hang it in the ceiling instead, well, just put some screws on the back and some screws in the ceiling and hang them. I'll take the screw, I'll put it in, and I screw. That's all you have to do. Good.
Easy.
Yes, very easy indeed. So what we're going to do now is hang these two panels in this corner. And in order to do that, we're going to use thin white chains. And if you order our corner solution, that is what you'll get as well. Now, if you don't want the particular chains or screws or whatever that we can sell you, then you can use any chains or screws you want. So if you want red or black or different kind of materials or whatever, it works. This is an example of our 50 times 100 centimeter panels. Since the panels are 50 centimeter wide, Pythagoras' ideas or conclusions says that if the distance there is 50 centimeters, then you have to put the screws 35 centimeters from the corner itself. Everything about this is of course explained in the material you get when you order the panels. You can also find more information on the homepage, softsci.com. And then he marks where 35 centimeters is. And there we go. Excellent.
Perfect.
Yeah, and now we have a corner solution, a highly effective corner solution. And this image would look good for a spa, don't you think? Yeah?
Yes.
Where, of course, at a spa, it's very important to have a nice acoustic climate, isn't it? Yeah. So basically, that's the same way you do when you hang panels on the wall. Since we have these mounting holes on the back, you need 2 screws for each and every one. Or you take these. This is our own mounting system. With this one, you only need 1 screw, and that is to fasten the system itself, and then you just hang the panels on these ones. Another way to mount the panels is, of course, to use our specially designed legs, these ones. If you don't want to hang the panel, you actually want to use the panel so you can test where they do the most effect, or you want to use it as a room divider or anything similar, you can always put the legs on the bottom. Now, you don't have to use our legs. I'm sure you can find legs that are suitable. Again, this material is very easy to put screws in, so you can use anything. One thing, when you put the panels on the wall, together with the panels, you'll get these spacers. And the function of the spacers are, of course, to put the panel away from the wall. Now, that is optional. You don't need to use them. But if you do, they'll be a bit more effective on the absorption side. The flexing is still there, but again, the further from the wall you put something that absorbs, the better they function. And this is really easy. You don't really have to find any suitable places. You take the spacer, you remove the thin film of plastic, and it works well if you have long nails. I don't. So you take the spacer, you put it somewhere here, you take the other one, remove the thin film of plastic, and you put it here, and then you do likewise on the other corners. So doesn't really matter where you put them, no one will see them. And they have only one function, and that is to give some space to the wall. That's it. Et voila. Thank you for watching this instructional Sounds of Science movie. We'll be back with some more. Meanwhile, have a look at our webpage, which you are probably already on, if you haven't found this movie somewhere else. And the address is www.softsci.com. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.